We're at the entrance of Tai Tuna Cave. It is just down that path. So let's head down there and see what there is. Yeah. It's another view from up top. Down there's the cave diving sign. And beyond it's the cave. And heading up towards the top is where we parked. Just for size perspective, this is the cave, and you can see Katie standing there, just to see kind of how large Tai Tuna Cave is from the entrance. You can see there's also another smaller cave directly in front of us. Now that one kind of goes back and fizzles out. We're not going to go back in there. The rocks above it don't necessarily look the most stable to me either. Just to kind of see how the other side and get a size comparison, you can see Katie down in there, and then this is the other side of the cave where the river usually is, but it's pretty dry today, which is why we were able to go the whole way back into the cave. So just kind of for comparison. If we walk up here, we can see the sign. It says about no cave diving. When we were in the very back there, past the log jam, there was that sump, or that little lake looking thing, and that's where you're not supposed to dive, diving prohibited. You can also see kind of a mist at the cave entrance, that white line. Directly to the right of where Katie's standing, there's a white line, and that's just like a mist, kind of where the cold air of the cave meets the warm air of the sunlight. There's some water dripping off the top of here. When it really rains, there's like a small river that flows off the top of there and down in to the cave. So you kind of follow the path of the water dripping, and it kind of flows down and in. So we are at the very back of Tai Tuna Cave. We went beyond the log jam. This is the sump. Sump means that the river goes underground from here. There's no way to continue on unless you scuba dive, and this is it. So just taking a look around here. This is the very, very end of Tai Tuna Cave. See, there's this little mound over here. I really want to stand on that. So we're gonna head over here to this mound, maybe. Yeah, see, this looks very deep here. We don't want to go in there, but it would be cool to get on this mound. So, the mound looks untouched by people. Oh, there's a footprint. Someone has been here. Very few. Took the whole way back here. And there's Katie. And this is the sump. Very end of Tai Tuna. There's a log there, but it's very, very deep right there. And back here. And it just goes underground. This is shallow here, but as you can see, it deepens. We're on this little island. See the water running. Just a minute, we're gonna film our way back. So again, this is the very end. See the river flowing here pretty strong down into the sump area. There's a bug back here, believe it or not. Somehow, you can see this water here that we're about to cross. And there are some beautiful formations back in here. Water is super clear, very crystal clear, beautiful. You see Katie way up there. And I'm gonna film Katie standing in this room because it's huge. So you can see just how big this room is. There's Katie. Just look at this. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's like shimmering. Very interesting. This almost looks like a mushroom. If you can see, let's see if we can focus the video. It's like this white mushroom kind of just growing here on this log. It is incredible looking. Just beautiful. I don't know if you can see, but this is a massive room. Katie's way down there. We're gonna still beyond the log jam. So all this, if you can get through that little space of the log jam, it opens up to all this. Major rocks here. As you can see, many rocks have fallen. We've just been here. There's rock there, and there is just massive amounts of water here beside this rock. There's a beautiful formation here we're gonna get a look at. Just coming out of the wall, try and get better lighting on this if I can. It's hard to explain on it, but it's just hanging there from the wall, and it looks absolutely incredible, just kind of hanging on its own. Up here's Katie. Still got the river on the left. Major rocks on the right-hand side. I'm gonna cross here. Just one more look back into the cave beyond the log jam. Just amazing. All right, and we're coming out here. You can see the ceiling starting to drop. That means we're getting close to the hole where we came in. Doesn't look like much of a hole, but this is it. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is the only way. So Katie's gonna go first, and we're gonna go through this hole where the ceiling kind of meets the water a little bit. We're getting the heck out of here. This is, if you're willing to go through this, the cave opens up into all that space back here. But again, you gotta be willing to go through this. It's still beyond the logs, but this is the part where nobody wants to go. But if you can do it, you see Katie's light. You there?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off my light so they can see it.
All right, you're good.
You can see where the water meets the ceiling. And this is where I'm heading. So, here we go. Get the correct lighting on. Okay, back in full light. Again, the cave beyond the log jam. And now we're headed back into the water. And it might get a little, the view might get a little weird for a second. But, here we go. So we gotta get underneath all of this water.
Off your head.
Yep, gotcha. As you can see, there's Katie. And there's where we just came from. It opens up, but it's very tight. Okay, we're going back to this little island that we're calling home for the second. Thank you. This is the little island we're on. There's the ceiling, there's the ground, there's the hole we just came out of. But as you saw, it continues on. And, oh, watch your head. I'm excited. We did this. Over here is the log jam. We're behind it. We're about to head out to the front of the log jam. Here goes Katie. She decided to go and film anyways. She's going back beyond this river. This is where I just was. And she's wading back in on her stomach through the water to get to where the cave opens up, where I just showed you a minute ago. I'm gonna shut my light off so you can see where her light's coming from and just how dark it is back in there. Okay, so light on, light off. You can see she's back in there, you see the light. And again, there's the log jam, we're in the back. Okay, here she is coming back out of the log jam, flashlight in mouth. Not from behind the log jam, sorry, from behind that hole. All right, and Katie's back. You can see the ceiling is very close to the water. Okay, so we're looking at the left passage here. The water's frigid. I'm gonna have to go up to my face if I wanna get back in there. And there's like maybe a foot between the ceiling and the floor of the cave. I think it does go that way though. Once you get past the log jam, looks like it goes to the left. The cave carries on past the log jam, and this is it. You can see it opens up into this huge area, and it goes back another 500 feet or so. Cut my lights off so you can see Katie's light from the other side of the river, past the log jam, darkness. Turn the light on, it goes. Now we're coming out of the log jam. There goes Katie, holding flashlight in mouth, coming up over the logs. I'm going to follow her. I'm gonna try not to swim through it if I can help it. I'm just gonna try and duck waddle if I can and keep my backpack upright. So might be hard to see, but we're coming back through. You can see the water here. If you look down, this is my knee. It's up to my knee. You can see my boot down in there. We're very deep in the water. I'm gonna come up over this rock, over the log, and back into the main part of Taituna Cave. So we just came from back in there. That's where all the extra passage is. This is the log jam. We can get to that, but you gotta go. Gotta be willing to get wet beyond the logs. Okay, so come up over the log. Gonna have old man, like dad grunting sounds on here. There's the jam, there's where we were, off to the left. You come off to the left of the log jam, back in there's more cave. So do so responsibly. Bring a waterproof flashlight. Be prepared to get wet. Yeah, have fun. So, yeah, heading up out of the main cave now. There's the log jam. We're gonna explore some of these passages out on the right side. You can see the current coming through these rocks. It's flowing pretty hard into those logs where we just were back behind there. Very cool. And believe it or not, I've already seen this, and we know it's safe, so we're going to step into that and get over here. Just watch your ankles. You can see I'm standing in the current here, and it's flowing pretty good. So we're gonna get out of there. And now we're back in the main passage of Taituna. Back there's the jam, where we were. And this log jam, in 1972, there was a flood pushing, this was a show cave at one point, it pushed all that debris back into this cave and into there. Also, there looks like there's some branches and maybe a tree trunk or two. It got pushed in. There was a hurricane that came through and Taituna flooded. All right, and Katie's up there, probably exploring this thing on the right. I'm down here in the water. Just amazing formations. Most people don't go back here either, but they really don't go past that log jam. There's one, nice one on the ceiling. Just beautiful. This is the dry passage of the cave. You can take the river down there. It's hard to see, but it's down in there. So I can zoom out a little bit with the light. It's the river. Unfortunately, there's a bit of spray paint. Don't spray paint caves, right? Keep them as you found them. You can see this gold on the ceiling. It looks like gold. It's not gold, but it looks just beautiful, shining. It's hard to get a visual on exactly what that looks like, but it is just incredible looking on the ceiling. You can see some mist there, cave humidity in the cave. So we're making our way back out of the cave now. We're actually leaving footprints because we were down in the river. And it's been pretty dry up here for a while. As you can see, now this is just people putting just drawing the dirt on the side of the cave, which I can kind of understand because it'll just wash away. Respectable, right? But don't put paint in here. People just writing on the side of the cave, kind of cool. See all the folks that were back in here at one point. There's some from 2020 actually. Okay, down there's the river. There's some big rocks. We're staying on the dry passage this time. Again, river's down there. Gonna try and get up close and personal on the shiny silver specks. You can see the shine of this stuff. It is absolutely incredible. Just to get in there and see that. That is just amazing. And don't take a big step to your left because down there is the river. You don't want to go down there. You can, but it's 5 foot drop maybe, 6 foot drop. I'll be doing this ramp here, almost. I'm gonna shine a light on you for a second. Sorry about that. It's like a slope. I'm gonna slide down it. You see the river's down there. There's like a drop there. So you don't want to take a step in that direction. I'm gonna try and film this little descent down towards the river. But, yeah, kind of need the hand, so we'll see. Let's get some of this, jumping in the river. See here, just amazing stuff on the ceiling. Just another shot of this. Just looks awesome. Amazing view of the water droplet right here on the cave ceiling. There's a bug on my nose. I have to get that in a second. Okay. Gonna try and get some better views here if we can. There we go. Okay, the light focus was just bad. Some of these water droplets on the ceiling. Just amazing. Let's see if this one's gonna fall. This is interesting. You can see, honestly, it looks like grass or something pushed up against the ceiling here. This might be hard to see, but this whole ceiling is covered in that silver, shiny looking. Zooming the light out helps. Just the shiny silver. It is absolutely amazing. And there's a nice formation right here. This is what we were just filming from the back. Now we're filming it from the front. Just beautiful. Okay. And there's some spray paint. Again, don't spray paint in caves. But just a beautiful formation. A little bit misty. Well, okay, and I'm gonna shut my lights off here so you can see there's Katy on the left, and on the right you can see the sunlight coming out and into the cave, just peeking out. So I'm gonna have to turn my light back on for just a bit until we get closer to the entrance. But I'll eventually turn it off so you can see kind of the walkout of the cave. Now you can really see the mist because we're near the front of the cave. Really see that's fogging up. There's stuff dripping from the ceiling. You can see now we're closer to the entrance, right? Just amazing looking. Without the light, we just kind of need to slow it down. But keep this down. There we go. And just amazing. You can hear the river running. It's over in there. All right, we're heading out of the cave, and as you can see, I'm just gonna leave my light off momentarily, but just one last look into Tai-Tun. Turn the headlight on for a second so you can see a little better. One last look, lights out. Okay. And that's what it looks like inside the cave if your lights are out. Turn back around, and we're seeing daylight. Good trip. Coming back out with as little light as possible to get the full effect of stepping into the daylight, which is just the most amazing thing after being in this cave for so long. And getting drenched. All right, come back out here. You can see it looks misty because it is misty. It's like the sun's gone under a little bit. Yeah, we have made it out. You can see we're down in a sinkhole here. And this is the entrance to the cave we were just in, Tai-Tuna Cave. Just a beautiful cave.